So this TTC, Toronto Transit Commission bus operator, had to give these adults a speech about paying the bus fare.
This is the last time you guys are entering this bus at this time. If you don't pay, don't get into the bus. Okay? It's not funny and it's not a joke. You want to go somewhere, pay for it. You guys are not under 12. So Monday onwards, you enter through the front doors, regardless the back doors open. You guys are not under 12, but you think that you should not pay.
Now, I personally am not about to give a speech. I will state what the fare is supposed to be, and if you still refuse to pay, I'm just gonna keep it moving for all the other amazing passengers that paid their bus fare and did what they were supposed to do so that I can get them to where they need to be. Even though it's not fair to them that you, fare evader person, decided that you're just not gonna pay. And I'm not talking about people that can't afford it or are homeless or something like that, because people be like, well, you're trying to talk about people that can't afford the bus fare. I'm not. Listen, I understand we all go through tough times. I get it. But unfortunately, when there's a service or product that you have to pay for, you're still technically supposed to pay for it.
He ain't lying.
But anyway, I'm not chasing anybody down for bus fare. It's too dangerous. Too many bus operators have been assaulted over bus fare. Like for instance, just on October the 8th, 2024, in Philadelphia, 3 women were shot on a Philadelphia SEPTA bus. So we had 3 young men who boarded the bus without paying the bus fare, and they got into a little bit of an argument with the bus driver, but the bus driver did eventually leave it alone. But once they got off of the bus, they opened fire on the bus and 3 people on the bus were shot. So yeah, and I'm not about to go back and forth. It's too dangerous. But at the same time, everything this TTC bus driver said,
if you don't pay, don't get into the bus,
was true. Honestly, I can't get upset at the bus driver for making that speech. I'm not making that speech at this point in my bus driving career, but I do agree with everything that this TTC bus driver said.
Nobody cares.
So bus drivers deal with a lot of unique situations out in the field, and a lot of people ask me like, hey, what are some things you deal with? Tell me some stories. Well, good news for you. I have some comments from actual bus operators who will tell you some of the situations that they have dealt with, and I'm going to share them with you. We also got some videos, and I'm going to tell you about some situations I've dealt with as well. Starting with this one. I posted this on the Bus Driver Life Facebook account. A passenger asked me if Popeyes accepted food stamps. I honestly didn't know, but the person expected me to know. Like, this is real life. They were like, hey, do you know if the Popeyes accepts EBT? And listen, I'm not on some high horse or something like, oh, I don't know. How will I ever know? I just don't know because I don't have EBT. So I don't personally pay attention to which stores and restaurants accept it. But from what I've seen, there are a lot of restaurants that accept EBT. I mean, it is food stamps, food. Makes sense to me. And also I went on to say I do hope they accept them because there was a Popeyes right at one of the bus stops that I serve on the particular route that I was driving that day. And I'm like, I hope they do accept EBT so he can get himself a good meal. You know what I'm saying? I'm on his side. I hope that he was able to get some chicken and one of them delicious dry biscuits. They're dry, but they're delicious. Woo!
Y'all see the honey on the biscuit?
Check out what this bus driver dealt with. A passenger asked me how much Walmart starts their pay when you're hired. I laughed, thinking she was joking, so she said, well, you passed there. You should know.
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
This is true. A lot of people expect us bus drivers to know about every single thing along our route, menus and operating hours, things of that nature. I'm like, I don't know. If I haven't personally been there, I don't really have much information for you. And most people are carrying a phone in their hand and, you know, you can look it up on your phone, but I get it. They expect us to know and we don't know. And some people are shocked. Like, how do you not know that? Here's a secret. This route that you see me driving, this may not even be a route that I normally drive. I could be doing day off work, overtime. I could be on the extra board in which I'm covering a route because someone called in sick or they had a vacation day or something like that. So I'm covering a route that I don't typically do. So I don't know about anything along this route. This one is crazy. Had one tell me to take him to the crack house. Didn't seem to understand when I told him I could take him to the bus stop closest to the crack house. How did you know where the crack house was at? I hope that you're not someone that uses the crack house's services, so you know where the bus stop is, unless the person told you where the crack house was at and you were like, hey, I know where that bus stop is at, closest to that location. I hope that's what it is. Pulled a rusty, broken pocket knife and me and my trainee had to toss him off the bus. Will this bus get me to that McDonald's? Which McDonald's? That one by a building. There's a fence on one side. The road goes around by it. It's across the street from that place. Listen, this is real right here. I had somebody get on the bus and say, hey, I'm lost. I don't know where I'm going. I was like, so you have no clue where you're going? Well, I kind of know where I'm going. I'm like, okay, what street are you trying to get to? I don't remember the name of the street. I'm trying to help the person. Like, I'm not saying this to make fun of them or make it seem like they're dumb or something, but I'm just like, you got to have some sort of information, some idea of where you're going if you're going to use public transportation. You can't get on the bus and just be like, hey, I have no clue where I'm going. You need to help me.
I said what I said.
It's like you need to have an intersection, cross street. That's even better than having an address, because if you have an address like, I need 1, 2, 3, 4 West Main Street, I may not know that address because we're not looking for addresses when we're driving the city bus. That would be kind of dangerous, trying to look all in houses and on buildings while I'm trying to drive. Yeah, we stop at bus stops that are typically at intersections.
He ain't lying.
So people have a basic understanding of where you are trying to go. As a matter of fact, call customer service of the transit system that you are using prior to even boarding the bus, so that all you'll have to do when you get on the bus is confirm with the operator where you're trying to go and if they're going in that direction. That works a lot better. This one is actually from the point of view of a passenger. I seen cops escort a guy off a bus because he got too upset that the bus driver wouldn't/couldn't charge his phone for him. That's messed up. That's your responsibility, honestly. It's always good to get help. We all need help and assistance, but you can't get like angry to the point that law enforcement has to escort you from the premises because someone couldn't do something for you that you should have actually done before. Now, this comment was actually left on one of my YouTube videos and by one of the channel members. So shout out to Toma Green 2885. I had a guy get on my bus and ask, driver, what time does that bus leave? Pointing out the window to the bus in front of him. Bus in front of me takes off. Me, apparently now. The guy wasn't amused. I mean, that's kind of funny, but it's not funny that he missed his bus. But yeah, you got to be on top of it with these buses. Like, there's so much information, so many resources on your mobile device that you can use so you can know what's going on before you even get to the bus stop. So back to me, something I've experienced years ago when I drove a bus route that went through the Sacramento International Airport. You get a lot of business travelers. So this guy gets on my bus, he pays cash at the fare box. It was like $2. Then he's standing there. He didn't like leave the fare box and go sit down. I was like, do you need a transfer, sir? Is there anything else you need? He's like, I need you to print me a receipt. I said, I'm sorry, sir, we don't print receipts. He was like, excuse me? I was like, yes, sir, we don't print receipts. Now, if you would like a transfer or you want to pay for a day pass, then I can print that out and you can use that as proof of your fare payment, because I'm assuming he gets reimbursement for his travel expenses, including the bus, Uber, whatever he uses. So he needed something to show this is how much money I spent on the bus so he can get his money back. But I'm like, we don't do receipts. We don't have like a cash register and print out a receipt for you. So he just kind of didn't say anything. He looked very disappointed. He kind of stared at me for a few minutes. Then he went and sat down.
Call the police. Shut the f up. Call the police. I won't. What's wrong with you? You think you great? Shit out your way. Drive the bus, treat. What's wrong with you?
So this person is really angry. So this is another one of those situations, one of those stories that people seem to want to hear about in the lives of a bus operator. And yes, these type of things happen. I'm wondering about those boots. Are those like cowboy boots? Are they work boots? A combination of both? Like, I don't get it. How do you get onto a vehicle that you need to transport you? It has rules and policies in place. And you get on and say, I'm not going to adhere to these things. Not only am I not going to adhere to them, but you're not going to tell me that I have to. You're going to just shut up and you're going to just drive the bus and do what I told you to do. Some people are lost, like literally and figuratively, because some people get on the bus and they're just totally lost. They have no clue where they're going at all. Like this one time I had somebody get on the bus and ask me, what are the departures at the Greyhound station? I'm like, I have no clue. And they're like, how do you not know? Those are buses too. Aren't you supposed to know what time the buses leave? And I'm like, I drive the city bus. I don't know what time the next bus after me on the same route leaves. Well, sometimes I do, because some routes run every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes or once an hour. So I do have an idea. But in general, it's like, I don't know, we have schedules. I can try and help you find that answer, but I don't just have some sort of database implanted into my brain in which I just know what time every bus in the world leaves. They literally have apps, Google Maps, transit, directions, customer service. There's so many resources. I don't understand why this person thought the city bus driver, me, was supposed to know what time the Greyhound buses left or departed from the Greyhound station. It was something else. They were really surprised when I said, I'm not sure. They were like, aren't you supposed to know this? You're a bus driver. Aren't you supposed to know what time the buses leave? Goodness gracious.